Welcome home. We are WNST, AM 1570, Towson, Baltimore. We are Baltimore Positive. We are in the most positive place I can imagine. We're here in the new, beautiful Lexington market. All of it brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. I have the Magic 8-ball scratch-offs to give away. This is one of my fun, favorite segments because Damye Hahn is about to join us. She's going to bring me some muscles later on because she says I'm looking kind of skinny. I need some more muscles, too much hot yoga. Jamal McCord is here from Lexington Market as well, talking about all things market. And I say the new market, at some point it's not going to be new anymore. Still, we're about to go 1 year for Faidley's in this space, about 3 years into the space for the whole market. It's a pleasure to have you on. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Damye, always good to be back here, especially after I've already had a crab cake, French fries, and cucumber salad.
Yeah, got to fill up first.
Well, I mean, sometimes I get the coleslaw, but I'm cucumber salad. Ever since you turned me on to that, that's my thing. And I only eat the French fries here, but if I was taking it home, mac and cheese. Always mac and cheese for me.
Right. French fries don't travel well.
You from Baltimore, Jamal?
I am.
All right, so you know.
Yeah.
I mean, if you weren't, I'd say, you ever had anything like this? First time you had a crab cake, but you don't remember the first time
I just had a crab cake last night for dinner.
Not as good as this one.
Not as good as this one, but Whole Foods does the best they can.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, inform our audience about what's going on here. First things first, we're going to be playing baseball 2 blocks away from here.
Yeah.
81 times this year.
Yeah.
Hopefully more than that.
Hopefully.
Hopefully we keep going.
90 something times, right?
Good.
Into late October. The market's here. I'm going to be here the day of the second game. I'll be here the day of the first game, too. But I'll be not working.
Right. Having fun.
Opening day is a big day here.
I won't look
Open
quite
day
this
is
good
great
on
for us.
April 2nd. I won't be dressed this nice because the Addies are tonight here downtown Baltimore, so I'm all gussied up. But the amount of people that come through in the foot traffic, spring changes things here, right?
Yeah.
I mean, does it not?
Yeah.
Yep.
Spring, we see a massive influx of people. Their poor staff is just packed and swamped. You barely can walk through. The market is bustling. There's a lot of people around. We have the parking, which people take advantage of a lot. Probably the cheapest, I would say the cheapest parking in downtown Baltimore. As you
I park right in the garage that I've always parked in.
Yeah.
Right across the street.
Yes.
I
it's
walked
branded
over
by
here.
us, yeah.
I listen, I've been coming down here all my life.
Yeah.
I've lived downtown 19 years.
Yeah.
We've been doing the show here about 7 or 8 years now.
Okay.
I started Baltimore Positive back in 2018.
Okay.
Has it been that long?
It has been that long.
She's going to get Catonsville open soon. I swear she's going to get Catonsville open soon. I go by the scaffold. I'll get to that in a minute.
Oh, yeah.
But one miracle at a time, okay?
That's
as your
right,
mother
that's right.
stares at me.
That's
you
right,
know?
that's right.
One miracle at a time. You've been a year here, and this space, and I say this every time I come down because I ate a million crab cakes in the old place, nothing wrong, different equipment and all that. This is a different experience from your equipment and the food and the spacing and what you've done here.
Sunlight.
A lot of it's not sunny right now, but it always is in the afternoons.
Well, it's still daylight. You know, it's nice to have light coming through the windows. It's a beautiful market. It's a beautiful space, and whoever hadn't been here better get down here because it's just so much fun. And like you said, we are so close to the stadium. Perfect place to come. Perfect place to park for the stadium because it is.
Cheapest parking.
It's where I parked on opening day.
Yeah.
Last opening day, I parked in that garage.
Yep.
I walked in here, saw Damye. I gave away some lottery tickets, hung out and had some crab cakes. I walked to the stadium, and my buddy Chris Pica lived in Federal Hill, and he ran into me. He's like, I walked over. Can you give me a ride home? I'm like, well, my car's up by Lexington Market. Sure, let's take a walk. And then I navigated Light Street back down to Federal Hill to get him home. But, it couldn't have been any easier to park here.
Yeah.
And when I think about you and I think about this place and the institution of the market, the games are at 6:30 now.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
if you're down here 4:30, this is the place.
This is the place
cheaper
to be.
on the outside. This is a great hub spot before a ball game. It really is.
Absolutely. Come here, fill up. Get whatever you need. To before you go to the game.
Cold beer at a reasonable price?
Cold beer at a great price.
Yeah.
And great, the best oysters and the best crab cakes. So there you go.
You're not going to brag on the mussels yet?
Oh, the mussels are
right,
delicious.
fish too.
You know you like the shrimp too. So
I may take some steak fish home tonight and bread that thing up, do it all right in the park. Oh, man, in a frying pan like my mom.
So we got the fresh fish. And summer we'll have crabs. You know, people can sit out on the patio, eat crabs. So there's so much to do, and of course the market's got a lot of great selections too for those who don't eat seafood. So
I've never thought of doing that. You come down at 4:00 and eat crabs. right
could.
there. I mean, I see the benches.
Yep.
I can eat crabs and then just walk to the ballpark.
Yeah.
Yes.
Walk off your buzz.
Like, how about this? How about like a Saturday afternoon game? Like, if there's a Saturday
Absolutely.
afternoon game, come down here about 12 o'clock, knock back a dozen, see it. Oh, man. That's something I've never done.
You gotta do it.
I've never eaten crabs before an Oriole game downtown.
Yeah.
Never.
So we'll make that your goal for this year.
Well, I can do anything here in the market. I know you're Jamal McCord's here, Damye's here, talking about all things market. For you with the market and seeing it get lifted, see some vendors in, some vendors out, that's always going to be a thing. But staple places like Faidley's and what you're trying to do here is you've built a beautiful market. Now all it needs, honestly, just some more people to come down. Just some more people to come down and eat some food and have some fun.
I think a lot of people sometimes forget that we're open just because there was so much kind of back and forth with the old market. So I've had that conversation a lot. Like, are you guys open? What's going on? But when we talk, like, oh, we're open, we're moving, we're bustling, Faidley's is in, the market is opening, we're open, everybody's here. They get in here and they love it. And like, well, I didn't know, or I forgot.
Well, I think a wide variety of food in here,
Yeah.
well, let alone your meats downstairs, your seafood up here that you can take. I came through, I had to pee really bad when I got here because I parked in the parking lot. Carried all my stuff over, put it down. Lori and Alicia, I said, I got to run to the bathroom. I went through. Dude had a snowball.
Yeah.
Dude, it's 40 degrees outside. The guy had a snowball, a jumbo snowball.
Yes.
It looked like it might have been like, it was like a lemon lime. It was like a green, and it looked like Dundalk High School. It was like green and gold. And it looked like Green Bay Packers, and I'm like, you get snowball stands in here. I didn't even know that.
That's from Sausage Master. So we have an eclectic mix of merchants that sell a lot of different things. Sausage Master kills it summertime, wintertime, springtime, fall time, all year with their snowballs.
My buddy Tom Cap was the vendor at Memorial Stadium, and he always talks, 1973, he always talks, he was the junior vendor. He said, April, I would come in, they would say, ice cream. And he'd say, July, hot chocolate. So the seasonal thing to me of like snowballs is like, hey, summer's coming here too, right? You know, right around the corner.
Yeah.
For you with the market, give me some stats of how many vendors are here.
Yeah.
And you have open stalls too for business owners?
We do,
Okay, so people can come down and start a business.
Yes. We're looking at that. So we have about 4 empty stalls at the moment. One that I'm hoping will be open in the next month and a half, and that is called Be More Twist. Be a pretzel specialty, pretzel kind of place.
I like pretzels.
Right, it should be good. And then we're at about 45 in total of merchants and 4 or 5 pop-ups. So that would be like our kiosk stands that we have.
Sure. All right. Well, I mean, I love this place. I've been coming all my life. I think for people that haven't been down here, if you haven't been in a long time and you remember the old market, I think, Damye, this place was designed much like your place to give you the feel of the old market. But, like, let's be honest, the thing was built in the 1800s. It was time for the old girl to go, and there were just some real safety issues in the old market.
Well,
right?
actually, the style of this market predates the market we just left.
Yep.
So the old Lexington markets that were started in 1792, not the 1800s. Come on,
it was
now.
the 18th century.
Yeah.
It was.
I mean,
You were close.
honestly,
Yeah.
this is the oldest continually operating market in our country.
Yes.
We're actually older than Faneuil Hall in that respect.
Okay.
So but we had 7 what were called sheds with metal roofs, and they designed this like the old sheds. Those sheds burned down in 1948 or 49, and the building that we just left was opened in 1950. So this is actually the 3rd building that my mother has worked in.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
And
She's
you have pictures on
outlasted
the wall
3
here
buildings,
for both
you
of
know?
them, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And but this style is like the older style because they with the reason that the old buildings came down with this fire, it was the major grocery store for all of Baltimore at that point. So the mayor wanted to get something up really quickly. So he built that great big cube that stood for the next 70 years, and now they've come back to this beautiful shed style market with these high ceilings and it's beautiful.
Jamal,
It's
how
just
long you been
beautiful.
with the market development?
2 years.
2 years. So you weren't a part of Blueprint. You were.
Yes.
And you remember when they brought you this and said, all right, your family's 200-year business is going to be moving over here. What were your asks? What were your, I mean, you knew you were going to have a new kitchen, and you knew it was going to be a different space. You knew it was a block closer to the ballpark. I mean, you'd walk by here a million times. Your vision of what it was going to look like in your mind, if Damye developed it, versus the blueprints, versus what, when I talk to you about this space, you always say, it's got so much light. Did you request that or know that they were doing that?
Well, it's interesting you say that, because there were several versions of this market. This wasn't the one. They landed on this one last. Thank God, because there were a couple. I mean, there was one that looked like out of George Jetson.
Yeah, all glass.
Oh, okay.
Glass running around.
I know.
This market.
You've seen all the. You've seen all the.
I just saw that one recently.
I looked at it, and the first thing I did, and they spent all this money on developing it, and I looked at it, and I'm like, where do you think we are, Japan? Nobody sticks a banana in a window. Why would you put that much glass in a grocery store? What are you thinking? So that ended up on the wayside, and one of the things that we had asked is, please make it look like its history. You can't just take something from 1792 and make it look totally modern. You can modernize it, but you have to give a hint back to what it was.
Camden Yards would be a great example of a ballpark that was built to have a retro feel, so it doesn't look like a friggin' spaceship landed in middle of downtown Baltimore.
Correct.
Where all of these, I mean, these buildings over here
Correct.
look like they were built 150 years ago. You look at the bricks. This building over here, this Pack Hall, you can see the red brick. It's a more modern building. But like having it blend in a little bit.
Correct.
And then when you walk into it, and I told Megan McCord this a minute ago, she loves to tell these stories when these tourists come in here from the airport and say, it looks just like it did on TV.
Correct.
And it was shot at the other place,
Yes.
but they
Right.
think they're in the place on TV.
And we hear that all the time,
Yeah.
which is what I wanted to achieve. So that was one of the things that, my dad wanted to make sure that they had a nod to the history. And that you can't, it's not all about the future. You have to have a nod to the history. And it's somewhat about the future, but we have to have both.
Yeah.
And I wanted to make sure that our brand wasn't lost, that we didn't go too modern. Even some of the early conceptual drawings of what it would look like in here for us were too modern for me.
You always knew
And
the walls were going to be full of your stuff anyway. Didn't matter even what color the walls were. You were going to use the wall space. Yeah.
I knew that. It took me a little while to talk everybody else into that.
Yeah.
And, I mean, they had, I think the first drawing, they had us with the big square raw bar, very, very little of the rest of this, and like live walls up off the raw bar with all these plants. And I'm looking at it going, who the hell's watering the plants?
Right, exactly. It's like having the fish tank. How are we going to keep the fish alive?
It's not going to be me. And what am I going to do with all these plants? So, getting somebody, I literally hired someone, a designer, to work with me, taking all the history that I had and the things that I wanted to portray over here, taking the space and saying, okay, this is the best way to lay it out, and this is how you're going to do it. And that helped, having a liaison.
Well, I've been coming for years, and a year and a month ago, we did our Cup of Super Bowl week, last February, and she was at the end of the end at the other place. It was like coming apart. Things were off the walls already.
It was empty.
And then I came over here, and it was all white. Nothing was in. None of the tables were here. And all of her stuff, all the pictures were against all the walls and against everything. And she's trying to figure out exactly where everything was going to go in here.
Yes.
But it was quite a little treasure hunt for you to be able to do this here.
Yep.
Because you have history. You're like,
Yep.
I'm 40 years into my thing, and people are like, oh, you talk about your history too much. It's because I got one. You know what I mean? Like, if you got it, you brag about it,
Celebrate
right?
it.
I've been doing it
Sure.
40 years.
Yeah.
I like showing old pictures of me when I was a little younger and less sexy than I am today. But this place, to me, has to be for you, even a year into it, saying, we got it right.
Yeah.
We
Yes.
got it right.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel
I
like you
think
got
we
it
did.
right.
I think we
1,000%.
nailed it.
There's
I think we nailed
nobody
it.
that's an old Faidley's person that comes down here and says, change, I'm a little underwhelmed, or the food's not as good. The food's better, the space is better, the lighting's better. I mean, to me, you upgraded everything. I mean, you really did, from something that was already iconic and awesome, and you didn't want to leave it, but you took all the best elements
And brought 'em over.
and moved
Yep.
it 50 feet. I mean,
And one of
next door.
one of the things that made me feel so good is we were open maybe a month, and there was a woman who had driven up here with her girlfriend from Atlanta, and she literally saw us on one of the TV shows. I don't remember which one it was. We've been on so many, oh darn. And she and her friend literally drove from Atlanta just to come here, just to come and see Faidley's and eat here. And so they were waiting in line, and the line was pretty long. So sometimes when there's a long line, I'll go through and hand out menus and ask anybody if they have any questions that I could help them with, just to kind of move the line
And you were
along.
like brand new open, right?
Brand new open. And she said, she told me her story, that they had come up from Atlanta. They were so excited to be here. She says, it looks exactly like it did on the show. And I said, well, that's amazing, because it wasn't the show. It wasn't filmed here.
You were in Disney World, not Disneyland,
Exactly.
right? It just looked like Disney World.
Exactly. So then I was like, yes, it worked.
Then you nailed it. I'll tell you this right now. That's a crazy story. I ain't ever thought to drive in Atlanta for anything. Just, for anything to eat, for sure. Maybe a ball game or something, but
definitely not for food.
I ain't getting to go. By the way, Jamal McCord is here and Damye Hahn is here. We're doing a little Baltimore Positive here at Faidley's Lexington Market. All are brought to you by our friends and the Maryland Crab Cake Tour at Maryland Lottery. We're still doing our Cup of Super Bowl. I have to apologize to you, Damye. A month ago, we were supposed to be here. The equipment that makes the show happen was locked in the trunk of my car. That's okay, because my car was in Silver Spring and I was in Towson, and Faidley's is still downtown. Although it is coming to Catonsville soon. I know that to be a fact. What's going on in Catonsville? Fill me in on that. Everybody's seen the scaffolding over there. I was over at State Fair in El Guapo last week. By the way, the Pizzole, when you're over at the new Faidley's, the fishmonger's daughter, you got a lot of places you can eat there if you get tired. I mean, go over to El Guapo and get that Pizzole they do over there. State Fair and the chicken and waffles. We'll be back there, too. But you're going into a beautiful neighborhood with friends of ours, and I can't wait for you to get open. Neither can they.
I know. And it's been a long, hard road.
March.
We of course bought right before COVID hit, so that wasn't the plan to take so long. But a couple years of it was COVID delay. Nobody was about to give out any loans for a restaurant when they were all closed. So it took us a little while.
Slowed things down a little bit.
It slowed things down a lot. It slowed things down here.
It slowed this down a lot too.
Slowed the world down.
Development,
Sure.
Yes. So it hurt all of us, and that's one of the reasons that I think people have not come back too much to Lexington Market, because we were closed, and when you redirect people, it is hard to get them back. So we are in the process of, trying to beat that drum and make sure that people come back.
Well,
and
that's
see
why
how
I'm here.
wonderful it
Everybody
is.
should come down here and see you.
But Catonsville, it will be 2025. Which month? I'm not sure. Right now,
My birthday's October 14th. That's a good day to open.
It would be a good day to open. I was hoping we'd be open a little bit before that, but we'll see. The structure, we found some structural issues in the steelwork in the front that is going to cause us a little bit of a delay, because it's all got to come off.
How old is that building on I often wonder, like the bones of Baltimore. I grew up in the 70s. Everything that was there felt like it had been there, but I don't know the 50s from the 30s, from the aughts, from that building built in 1930s?
1925.
Okay, I'm not wrong
It started
by
in
much.
1925.
Okay.
They opened in 1926, and it's 100 years old. But
and Catonsville was like a farm community then, right? It was like the place people from downtown vacationed.
That's right.
They vacationed.
They are in Ellicott City.
It was their farmhouse,
I did not know
Catonsville.
that.
Oh, that's
That was
true.
summer home.
That's
Summer
very-
home. They call
That's
it summer
why they're
homes.
all mansioned, beautiful looking homes in
Got
Catonsville.
it. Okay.
They left the city to go out there where it was cooler.
Yeah.
But
Near the park.
yeah. So the big thing with that building is that for the last 100 years, it was not very well maintained.
Sure.
So there was a lot of water damage, bricks peeling apart. Every window had to come out. Every lintel had to be replaced. It had no plumbing.
Some
There was
buildings
old
have good
water,
bones. Some just have good location.
Yeah, well, this had a good frame.
Good. You're looking for something good beyond the location. It is going to be in Catonsville. It's in the same parking lot where State Fair is, if you're familiar at all with downtown Catonsville, the music capital of Baltimore. Don Muller would make me say that. So would everybody in Catonsville. They will be open later on in the year. But in the meantime, you can order online. You can ship. You can... My wife is in the process of having this family thing, and I think we're going to wind up shipping some of your crab cakes down, because I made the mistake of hooking them. My wife, on the way to Christmas, on the way to the airport at Christmas time. Well, I did the show down here Christmas week. That's what it was. I did the Christmas show the day before my wife left for New Hampshire. And I said, hey, I'm coming home today. Why don't you take some crab cakes up to your family tomorrow? She's like, all right, they eat clams. They're New Hampshire people, And I stuffed 4 crab cakes, and I took them home, and we doctored them all up, took them up there. And then she got to watch them eat them that night.
Yeah.
And now it's over.
That's
Every Christmas,
You're done.
We're going to have to come here and bring them there. So now they're all asking, hey, do the Faidley's people, do they ship? And I'm like, yes, they do. You
Yes.
click away.
Yes, they do.
How does that work? Like right now it's 2 in the afternoon when we're taping. If I click a button online right now and I say I want them tomorrow, next day, how quickly can it happen? They're like, tomorrow night I'm craving, I got a promotion, I live in Bemidji. I want to ship them. How does that work?
So you have up until 12 o'clock any given day to have them by tomorrow.
Okay.
So, and we do that, except for Saturday and Sunday. UPS does
Right.
not do overnight air on Saturday, Sunday. We overnight air ship. We make every single crab cake to order. So we're making them, putting them in the box, and shipping them the day we make them. So let's say, my wife's birthday is next Friday. I want them to arrive on Thursday. You can go online, order them for Wednesday ship. They will be to your house on Thursday.
Just order them at 10 in the morning, and then they go out that afternoon.
Yeah.
And next day
or
you got
can order them ahead of time.
Yep.
We love people who order them ahead of time. There's a lot of last-minuters, but, because
I'm
it just
an
makes it.
impulsive person. You know this about me.
So the up until noon is for the last-minute person.
Yeah.
But those who plan, we love those people who plan ahead because it makes our lives a lot easier to know what we have to buy, know what we have to
And that's the
have
entire
in.
production. Like watching them do that.
Oh, I see the whole.
crazy.
Listen, I was here plague time during Christmas,
Okay.
Oh,
shipping.
Lord. Yeah.
She had Oriole pitchers, left-handed guys using their right arms to stuff
I
Bruce
did.
Zimmerman.
I did.
Absolutely.
We had Bruce in here packing boxes.
She's a
and
baseball mom. Did you know this about
I
her?
didn't.
I didn't.
I
I
didn't
knew
know
her
that, Damye.
years. She was
huge baseball fan.
Navy mom, baseball right here. Kid
Yep.
played for the Naval Academy. The whole deal.
Yep. So I went to 242 Navy baseball games in my son's
That's 242
college career.
more than me.
And boy, I used to call this Beltway Bud or Highway Heine because I was always, driving to a game.
What's your favorite part of baseball? I've never asked you this because it's baseball season. Next time we get together here at Faidley is going to be April 2nd. Luke's going to be here. It's going to be game 5 or 6 on the season. Game 6 on the season because they're playing 4 in Toronto. So it'll be the 6th game of the season. So I guess we'll have the number 1 starter back pitching that day. It'll be Wednesday afternoon. I love the fact that the team's competitive again,
Oh, I
and
do
I've been
too.
talking to some
It's
people.
so wonderful to watch.
I might get a press pass back. I'm not sure. I'll let you know about that later. But we're going to Canada for the opener. Luke and I are going up to
good.
Buffalo. We're going to drive over. We're going to do 3 days with Geddy Lee and the Sky Dome. So I'm vested. I'm down. My last name's Aparicio. I'm ready for a baseball season. I'm
That's
ready
great.
for new ownership. How
Yeah,
about that?
that's great.
What
That's
do you
great.
love about it?
I love spring. I love everything about spring.
Yeah.
The crabs come back into season, by the way. Tomorrow is National Crab Day. And
What does that even mean?
there is a National Crab Day. It's tomorrow.
I'm crabby every day.
So we have a special Maryland crab meat today. So all through the weekend. So anyway, and the Maryland crab meat is real Maryland crab meat. We put it in the freezer December 1st.
Explain to everybody why they don't want. No offense to the people in Asia. I love Asian food. I love Asia. I go to Japan. I even like China, except for the government and Taiwan. I'll keep saying I like it all. But I don't want my crabs to come from there. And there are places.
No.
I'm not going to name them. I don't eat their crab cakes anymore. But I can taste the difference.
Yes.
And I can taste the difference in your crab cake, the one I just ate there. It's just sweeter. It's a different. It's like a filet mignon on a chuck steak. They're both steak. It's just different.
Yes,
different.
it is. And the ecosystem here in the Chesapeake Bay is so much different than an ocean crab. So a couple of things are really important to remember. Our crabs hibernate, and because they hibernate, they store fat. And because they store fat, and they're normally in a cycle to store fat, they're sweeter because that fat that is where all the flavor is. So the ocean crabs, a lot of the crabs down south, they never hibernate, so they don't have to store fat. and they'll use their fat. Ours will store fat, which makes them more flavorful. We have a brackish water, not a full salinated water, so the salt level is different, and that makes it sweeter. And then the third thing is, because of having a sweeter ecosystem, their food source is sweeter. So it does make a sweeter, more succulent,
Except for these damn
flavorful crab.
catfish. Get them out, too.
Yes, get them out. Get them out, because
Are
catfish
you serving
love
more
eating these
catfish
big-
or no?
We are serving
What's a
more
fancy
catfish.
name they gave it? They gave it some funny name. Didn't they give
Blue
it?
channel cats is the...
No, but didn't they give it like a fancy French name for the fish? Then they did last year. They were calling it something else, not calling it cat. I'm telling you, this happened last year. I'm not making this up.
I don't know. I've been ordering catfish. Nobody told me to call it something different.
Well, they wanted to give it a different name because
Everybody's thinking of
reputation,
catfish as being very musty. The thing is, though, the catfish that they put in the chest, and don't get me started.
They
on
screwed
on
the
how
bay
they,
up,
They
right.
screwed the bay up. Yes, and this was for sports fishermen, which really kills me. But these channel cats that are now in the Chesapeake Bay,
they look like Jabba the Hutt.
they're huge.
They're really, really ugly and fat, and they're freakish looking.
People think that they just suck along a bottom. No, these things are swimming. They are swimming, and they're eating rockfish. They're eating the crabs. They're eating everything.
Eating all the babies.
They're eating all the good stuff.
All right,
all the
well-
stuff we want to eat. So they do taste good.
See, you
Because
think
you
I'm
are
this
what
year
they
promoting
eat.
the market,
Yeah.
eating crab.
I see,
I
I'm
learned
getting a
stuff.
lesson.
Yeah.
No, man, she brought me oysters about 3 years ago, and they were so delicious. Then she started telling me, you do know without the oysters, you will have no crabs, because the oysters clean the bay, oxygenate the bay so the crabs can live. There's a lot of people. I didn't know that till I was 50 years old.
Yeah.
I should have gone to biology class instead of
Yeah,
all the
yeah,
baseball
would've
card
been nice.
collecting. I
Would've
knew a
been
lot about
nice.
baseball. What can I do? Jamal McCord is here. He helps run things and keep things clean and safe and awesome down here at Lexington Market. And Damye Hahn keeps the crab cakes and the bay oxygenated and clean and all that stuff. You can order crab cakes online. You can have them shipped. You can come down here. Don't wait till we get to Catonsville. Come have some crab cakes now.
Crab
She'll be
cakes,
over there
crab
with the
soup,
fishmonger's daughter.
Oysters, have it all. Fish, we got it all.
Don't
have
sleep.
some catfish.
Don't sleep on the shrimp salad. So I'm doing a thing this summer. I'm breaking you in on this because you were the first one on the oyster tour. I was going to do crab soup and cream of crab soup. It's my 26th anniversary. It'll be my 27th anniversary in August. I was going to do 27 days, 27 crab soups.
Oh, that's
And
good.
I thought, well, it's a good idea, but I got a better idea. What I'm going to do this year is spotlight my 27 personal favorite things to eat that are in
Okay.
restaurants in this city.
Okay.
And because I do a bunch of crab cake places, I'm going to use my crab cake places to feature, because they're all, your crab cakes are delicious. I love your shrimp salad. And I think your shrimp salad is my favorite thing here. It's my favorite shrimp salad. So, like, when I don't get shrimp salad anywhere else.
Yep. Okay.
Now, I'll get some fried shrimp over at Costas. I get the Coco's does these coconut butterflied shrimp with this raspberry. They're unbelievable. But shrimp salad is you. Where's your shrimp salad recipe? 'Cause I'm going to eat this here in August and feature it because I love it so much. You're my favorite. You're my go-to. You know I take a little pint home all the time.
Right. I know. Well, we started. We always had shrimp salad. We didn't sell a ton of shrimp salad because the big shrimp salad person was Mary Mervis in the market
Yeah.
for years and years
right,
and years. Remember,
sure.
Mary Mervis would just go.
Well, that was a
through
delicatessen. They did
thousands
tongue.
of
They did
pounds
all of that,
and,
right?
and their shrimp salad was famous all over the city. So we were disappointed when they did decide to retire and go out
I'm
of
glad you
business.
told me about them. That's a nice thing to say because I remember Mary Mervis well.
They were, and their shrimp salad was great. So when he left, he said, "Can you start making my shrimp salad?"
Oh, it's his shrimp salad. Oh, it's stolen. Holy cow. I'm eating stolen shrimp salad. No wonder.
but
So I'm
yeah.
not wrong then.
No, it's a
I'm
great
not
shrimp
wrong.
salad. So if anybody loved Mary Mervis' shrimp salad, you can
It's
come right here.
Right.
You know, you
All
don't have to
right.
worry that they're not here because I
Man,
started carrying
I'm
the
going to
shrimp
tell
salad.
that story again in August. I didn't want to insult you about telling you how much I loved
yeah.
your shrimp salad. Now you're like,
Yeah.
well, it's the most famous shrimp salad. Of course it's great.
Yeah. I mean, it was always.
It was almost like those crab
ours was
cakes down in
always
South
good.
Carolina that were the Faidley's crab cakes in that restaurant.
Oh,
They
yeah.
weren't the
I know,
Faidley's
I
crab
know.
cakes.
That was terrible. No, we went into
Oh,
a
wait
restaurant,
to hear this one. This
a
is
very
a good one.
fancy white tablecloth restaurant in Kiowa Island, and we sat down. There were 6 of us. one of my friends had this shirt on, who does a lot of help.
She scoped them out. She knew they were
And
doing this.
I did not.
You didn't?
No, I had no idea. We sat down and I opened the menu, and it was the special was Faidley's famous jumbo lump crab cakes with our script and our logo.
And no call.
No,
call.
no. And of course, they didn't buy them from me.
Correct.
So I'm like, okay, whose recipe is this that you're putting
yeah.
this under? And
How'd they taste?
So they had them on the.
You know they were horrible.
They had
Didn't say
them on the
Maryland on it.
appetizer.
Not at all.
And it was funny because the waiter came up and my friend, the guy said, it's good evening. I'm so and so. I'm going to be your waiter tonight. And my friend said, I think we got a little issue. He says, what's that? And he started pointing to the shirt, and the guy goes, oh crap. Went and got the manager.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Call the owner, really.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it just
so
goes
the owner, this is what they told me. The owner loves my mother.
Okay.
Loves my mother's crab
Okay.
cakes. Had been up here and fell in love with the crab cakes. So he searched the internet, and somebody had a recipe they put out of like a Faidley's crab cake.
Faidley style.
Yeah.
And they put, I said, because my mother's never put a recipe out, and that's what they used. And
I think it
and
has
I said,
mustard in it.
And they had it on there for a month. They had it on there since Thanksgiving. This was like January 5th.
Was it even close to your mother?
No.
No. Okay.
no.
All right.
And part of the reason too, I mean,
Was
it
it
wasn't
Maryland
even
crab?
close. No,
That's
no, it was Carolina crab.
Got it.
How would you have
But it
felt if
wasn't-
it actually tasted good? Would you felt better about it?
I would, because honestly, I would have felt better if it was better, because at least it wouldn't have hurt our reputation.
Correct. It really
Right.
Because
was.
people
Sure.
are sitting there thinking, oh, if this is Faidley's,
They ain't getting that.
exactly. And then they're not going to
Getting
call me
better
to
up
order
here.
some,
Yeah.
Well, we all have our favorite foods, and I started thinking about this with my wife because I have some. I'm not going to give it away the things but I eat, and I have an Asian place that's just phenomenal. They're not a sponsor. They're not. I don't read their, but I eat there, and they're a great family, and they're local, right on Hartford Road. I want to promote them because their food's great. So I'm good. Like I'm going to use August for 27 years and say these are my favorite things to eat, and some of them are really simplistic. Like I have a snowball joint that over in East Baltimore, it's Snowball Joint. It's my Snowball Joint. It's great. Egg custard, obviously. Marshmallow?
Extra marshmallow.
Marshmallow?
I love marshmallow.
I'm out. No, I'm out. I'm traditional.
Really?
Look at me. People give me that look. I mean, people get
Really?
mad at me. T.J. Smith got mad at me that I don't
How
eat
can you not get
marshmallow.
marshmallow?
That's what he said.
Like, that's the best
They-
part of it.
he
A little
wanted
bit
to
at the
take my
bottom.
Baltimore card.
Yeah, you got to go.
Jamal McCord is here. You get a snowball right here in the market. You
can.
get ice cream. You can come down and get fruit. You can get a delicious. Only place in the world right now you can get a Faidley's crab cake is right here at Faidley's. You can get the fake ones down in Key Island, or you can wait for Catonsville to open, but don't
We
wait.
cannot get the fake ones at Key Island anymore. I made them take that off.
You get the
next
fake
day.
ones everywhere. Everywhere outside of Maryland is a
That's
fake
right.
one,
Yeah.
That's right.
The real thing down here at Lexington Market, the real Lexington Market, all that brought to you by our friends at the Maryland Lottery. So you see me look nice. I mean, we had a theater night last year, and I put a jacket on. I smell nice, too. But you even took note. You're like, Ness, you got all dressed up in March to come down to Lexington Market. My hair's all done nice. Tonight's the Addy Award. So it's sort of the Grammys for the
okay.
Baltimore advertising community.
Okay.
And I was lucky enough to purchase a ticket for $150. And tonight I won't drink my money's worth, but I will look
The part.
charming and
Yeah.
debonnaire tonight.
There you go. There you go.
And I-
And
try
your
not-
wife, you're taking your wife?
Try not to get any fade. No, I'm going solo. Solo band tonight.
Okay.
My wife didn't feel like doing this nonsense tonight. She said I'm going to bring her home a crab cake.
There you go.
Because
Okay.
I'm a fade. I can't come down here without bringing home a crab
Yeah.
cake. It's chilly enough that I probably could get away with some shrimp salad in the trunk because it's probably
It
about
could sit on-
38
yeah.
degrees. Probably stay cool.
You know
for me.
I have frozen gels. Anybody can come here and still do it. You can come here and grocery shop, and I will make sure that your groceries are fine while you go to that ball game,
Yeah.
and then still go home.
So you're going to give me crab cakes I can take home tonight, and they'll stay cold.
Sure. We have insulated boxes. We have insulated bags. We have frozen gel. We got ice. I can.
So
bring your
as
cooler
an
with you.
example, this is a great example. You're driving to New Jersey for something. God
People
knows
do
what.
it
Hopefully
every
you're
day,
leaving. You come down here on the way,
Uh-huh.
and you're like, we'll get 8 crab cakes. We'll take them up. Give Aunt Myrtle
Yeah,
a little
exactly.
experience.
People come in here all the time with their coolers, and we will put ice on them. We'll put frozen gels on them. We'll put whatever they need. If they don't have a cooler, we've got one to sell you. So, people do it all the time.
They've done this before here at Faidley's. Is there anything you haven't seen, or anything you've only seen once?
Oh, my father could write a book. How's Bill could write a book.
How's Dad?
He's doing well.
Good.
He's doing well. He's he had his 6th heart surgery last spring before our opening, but he's doing pretty good. He had a bout of the flu that we were a little afraid of. It took some out of him.
Well, it's not the same without him down here trying to get me to eat muskrat and raccoon. In season, of course. Always in season. I saw the muskrat over
and it's
there.
in season now. So we've
don't be
got him.
slipping that in my
We've
bag.
got him.
My wife
we've
will
got him.
freak out. We have a raccoon that comes up and literally knocks on the door now.
Oh,
We have
okay.
a raccoon that knocks on the window, and we think our cat has a relationship with the raccoon because they play with each other at the window.
Uh-huh.
And the other night, I swear to God, it was just like there was a little tap. It was like I look up, little coon dog sitting in the window, little face, looks like the Hamburglar in McDonald's.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I can't. No, crabs I'll eat.
Yeah.
Shrimp,
Shrimp,
scallops,
mussels.
everything Forrest Gump would eat. Shrimp and everything is
Got
what
it.
I would do.
Right,
Beer,
right,
but
right.
I ain't eating no muskrat, and I'm not touching a raccoon. I'm sorry.
That's all
Tell
right.
your father.
Some people do. Some people do.
You served it to me once here, and nah. Nah. I'm out. I'm out. Jamal McCord's in. He's over here at Lexington Market trying to make things great. Come on down, participate, be part of it. If you're playing an Oriole baseball, you ain't got no excuses because you're in the neighborhood. So stop
That's
down
right.
Stop by.
and
That's right.
make your Oriole plans. Come down here and get a crab cake. And don't sleep on a cucumber salad. It's also one of my favorite things. I might feature that as well. Damye Hahn, her whole family is here. Nancy Devine is smiling at me as she always does on the wall here. Come on down, get some crab cakes and order them and take them home. I am Nestor. We are WNST AM 1570. It's all brought to you by our friends at Maryland Lottery. I have the Ravens. I feel like Oprah. One for you. One for you, Dame. We're going to take care of everybody down here and get them Magic 8 Ball. It's been a really lucky batch, too. So I'm giving you
good.
card
Well, I
number
like
one.
lucky badges.
Back for more from Lexington Market. Stay with us.